He was a lot of fun. He always had a little advice. Didn't matter what it was for all of us. We called him Ross Perot, but no, he was a lot of fun. Just a great teammate, a lot of fun, and we just had a special group there in Calgary.
Verny was such a fun-loving guy. He had this big grin on his face the whole time. You love to hang out with him. You love to have a beer with him, and those are the kind of teammates you want to be around all the time. And to have a Calgary guy, born and raised, play for his hometown, and then become a Hall of Famer, that doesn't happen very often.
I think he was a competitor. He was a good athlete. Wasn't a big guy, but played his angles well. He was just a great acrobatic athlete. He played a lot of different sports and was good at all of them.
First and foremost, Verny wasn't like your normal goaltender. And he's weird, don't get me wrong, he's still weird, but he's not your typical weird goaltender. So he was like a guy that you could have conversations with. So the good thing about Verny was he was very vocal and a lot of times a little harsh. As a goaltender, it made it kind of fun, but it was easy to play with him back there.
I don't know anything about goaltending, but he was calm. He had composure. You could laugh with him. He'd laugh at his own mistakes, and again, most important thing, he competed hard for us, and we all loved him for it.
He was very relaxed. He wasn't, he didn't have a specific routine that he had to follow to know that he was ready to play. Some nights in warm up, I don't know if he wanted a shot on net. He was like, "Do you want shots tonight or what? Like, get in your net." He was just very loose. He was a very good teammate. Very loose in the dressing room. Nowadays, if you hear people talk about goalies, they're very routine oriented, very regimented in how they approach the game. Mike wasn't that guy, but obviously made the Hall of Fame, so he obviously was pretty good.
When he got plowed over by Claude Lemieux behind the net, and he just looked up. I mean, the whole team could have reacted to that, and him in particular, and put us in the penalty box and maybe cost us the game. No, right back into the net, makes the next big save, and we go on and win. So his competitive spirit for everything that he does, and the friendship that he creates through that with his family, it's amazing. It's so fitting that he's being inducted.
He was mentored a little bit by Glenn Hall. He's probably brought him up a few times, and Glenn Hall was one of those guys where good game, bad game, just keep it level, keep it calm. Glenn would probably say, just have a beer and relax and go to sleep. And I think that was a really big point in Mike's growth, because he would have a game and he'd have a great game, but he wouldn't get cocky, and he'd have a bad game, he wouldn't get too down. And I think what's happened since like the 2000s and on, the goalies are treated like this different way, like you can't talk to the goalies, don't look at the goalies the day of the game. It's weird. And before that, the goalies were just part of the team. And Mike was definitely part of the team. He's a great asset, and everybody loved to have him around. And off ice, and when we were on the road in Chicago or wherever, he'd go for dinner with you, and you didn't have to worry about saying anything in front of him, even though he was a goalie.